I went for an adventure into my friend's forest the other day at the end of April to find some plants I can use as food or medicine. Bellurgan Park has been in Eddie's family since the 1600s, and his 300 plus acre forest is teeming with beautiful, wild, native Irish fauna and flora. My aim was to find the ocean of purple covering the forest floors, bluebells as far as the eye can see. So I set off on my walk after saying good morning to what I thought were a curiosity of cows.
Hello ladies. Good morning.
Little did I know they were a bunch of bulls. So I set off towards the forest and fell upon one of my favourite herbs. Wood avens, or Geum urbanum, has roots that taste like cloves. It was used as a protection spell in the past against evil spirits. And well, it'll sure ward off moths from your wardrobe. But it's been used for stomach complaints and to help tone the digestive tract, but also as a mild topical painkiller and even to treat gingivitis. And that's all due to its content of eugenol and tannins, and it's the eugenol that gives it the clove taste.
So we're just basically arriving at the entrance to the forest. It's a really cool place because it was in his family since the 1600s, and so it has a lot of this kind of Georgian feel to it, I suppose, and loads of old ruins and stuff. So I'm standing at the portal of this beautiful forest filled with medicine, and the portal is quite physical.
For the Celtic person, the new day was lived amidst nature. It is easy to have a creative sense of the day when you live in the presence of the great divinity called nature. For the Celtic people, nature was not matter. Rather, it was a luminous or numinous presence which had depth, possibility and beauty. This passage was written by John O'Donoghue in his book Anam Cara, and it resonates so profoundly with me.
Something caught my eye, and it wasn't this little dandelion, it was this little leaf, or rather large leaf actually. This is coltsfoot, and it's a long herb. It's been used quite a lot, especially for COPD or people with mucus, a lot of excess mucus in their lungs. And you can distinguish it by its little silver back, and it's very smooth and lovely. And the younger leaves actually have this interesting silky stuff on. Here's a squirrel. Went up in that tree over there. Can you see him? Up in that branch? He hopped onto the other tree.
If the forest is a temple, then nature is the divine spirit that keeps it alive. And everything belongs to it, from the smallest of insects to the tallest of trees, and even animals, including you and I.
So I wanted to introduce you to this beautiful plant. It's called a pignut. And you don't actually really find them that often. Not the last time I've seen it was on the Isle of Arran. And if you follow the plant down and go down the stem and dig in down through the root, you get this little nut thing. So let's have a look at it. So the pignut is edible, and it's actually, I suppose, a forager's treat, I'd say. It's kind of tasty, it's nice. It's hard to explain what the taste is like without actually trying it. I suppose nutty is the closest thing I could think of. And I'm going to keep this one as a little snack. So here's another wonderful plant called navelwort. And It's navelwort probably because it looks like there's a little navel in the middle of it. And they're edible, they're really nice, slightly bitter, so probably helps your liver and digestion. I mean, I've read some of it's used as a diuretic as well, so it helps you pee and I suppose get rid of toxins in your body, and it just makes a really fine addition to any salads, and just a bit of dressing mixed with rocket and maybe a few other wild greens. Really, really fantastic.
I walk the earthy floor, cheeks gently kissed by the warmth of the sun, freshened by a splash of spring water, and dried by the breeze of the air. I find deep peace in the presence of this elemental balance, walking through this living sanctuary.
All bluebells. Sea of blue. Loads of bluebells. What a beautiful sight. Wow. And there's this beautiful fragrance coming up. I'm not sure if it's the bluebells. Probably is. It's beautiful sweet pollen. So bluebells tend to grow in our own native forests, and they need really a particular setting to be able to grow. And it's just wonderful to see so many bluebells in this beautiful little forest. Now, they wouldn't be used for medicine because they're actually toxic, but they're just such a beautiful sight, and just shows how well maintained this forest is. One thing I like to say when I'm going out foraging is that I'm forest shopping, because there is so much variety of beautiful plants and trees and things that you can actually harvest and use, just like my pig nut and like the other herbs I was chatting about, and even from trees like this beautiful gigantic beech tree. And the interesting thing about beech tree is the leaves are quite nice, slightly acidic when they're young and they're just about to, they've just bloomed basically. And these are actually perfect for eating or putting in a salad. I know some people who actually wrap them around food and then bake them a bit like using vine leaves.
Beech trees are not considered to be natives, despite growing in Ireland for over 1,000 years. But it's very much part of our landscape and can grow into magnificent shapes, ones that inspired our ancestors without the shadow of a doubt. Some of the trees in this forest are really old and just exude this peaceful wisdom, as if awaiting for the constant chatter in our minds to quieten and finally listen. Listen to nature.